Hi there, everyone. It's Cindy again. And today I wanted to talk about another controversial platform, Airbnb. People either love it, people hate it, or people are too scared to use it. The controversy surrounding Airbnb has become huge, and it really has contributed to major problems of mass tourism in a lot of major centres: Barcelona, Venice, New York, Paris, just to name a few. So what Airbnb was, it was buying into the sharing economy, whereby somebody would have a spare room, studio apartment, studio in their backyard that they could put on Airbnb and rent out to travellers for a much cheaper price than staying in a hotel. It was of benefit for everybody. The owners could get some extra income, and travellers could find a more living like a local experience. They could connect with locals, and they were getting a lot cheaper accommodation. Plus, you could stay in neighbourhoods rather than touristy centres. So what's happened over the years, and has been happening for a long time, but it's just that it's come across and happening on Airbnb, is that people have been, companies or individuals, buying up properties in tourist areas. So let's take Venice, for instance, massive problem. So because people are buying up the apartments and they're getting more money now by renting them to tourists, it's driving rentals up for locals, or there's a lack of rentals for locals. It's driving property prices up that the locals now no longer can afford to live in their own city, and it's driving them out. It's becoming a huge problem in a lot of places, and it's something that we need to be aware of. So for me to use Airbnb, that defies the purpose. I don't want to be met by a property manager who's looking after properties for an owner who owns 5 different apartments in a tourist centre. I want to meet the local. I would rather be staying in their backyard in a little studio apartment where I get to interact with them. That's why I want to use Airbnb, and that's how I have used it up until now. Apartment that my partner and I rented through Airbnb in Melbourne was actually lived in for the majority of the time by a young couple, and when they got a booking on Airbnb, they just simply moved to her parents for that duration. It was a way for them to increase their income. The last one we spent time in Mudgee, it was actually a little studio apartment that was attached to the cafe that they owned. So they converted that into an apartment. We actually got a free breakfast thrown in for us, both of us, by from the owner who owned the cafe. It was great. But again, it's space that they already had. They didn't go out and purchase properties specifically to become, property managers. So here's how I would use it. We need to take responsibility for these things. I don't believe we should just use these platforms willy-nilly without understanding how they work or what their implications are. So again, I'm going to type in Florence. I'm going to have a look-see. And to start with, what you can do is just really use your filters. So I just want a home. Now, the thing is that I don't like having a room and a shared bathroom. It's just, I'm not comfortable. So I look for the entire place, but I also don't need a big 4-bedroom house either. So I'll go to home type. I'll put in entire place. But this is where, if you don't mind doing that, you can put in a private room, or you could even be sharing a room. It's totally up to you. So you'd apply that. And then you can also use more filters over here to refine your search of how many bedrooms, if you wanted a kitchen, if you want the host to be a super host. They're hosts that have been accredited for going above and beyond. And yeah, you can read the reviews down the bottom. Read the reviews, by the way. Please read the reviews. It's very important. You'll get a feel of whether it's owned by a local or if it's being managed. So then you would come down to your search. And this is where you need to read. You need to read, and one thing I have picked up, if you're, say I'm looking at Florence, you'll know it's managed, you'll know it's a holiday rental because the same owner will be listed here 5 times for different properties. Or they'll even say, we have another property down the road. So look, it's up to you if you want to do that. I'm not advocating who should do what. What I'm saying is how I like to use it, and that I don't want to contribute to the mass tourism problem that's happening. So do your research, read. If you have any questions, message the owner. But here's another tip for Airbnb. Never message outside this platform. Always contact the owner via here. Even if the owner contacts you and says, here's a link and it looks like an Airbnb, you instigate it through here. This looks like, oh no, this is Plus. I haven't looked at the Plus ones yet. So yeah, that's new for me too. But always contact the owner through here. Read the reviews. And when you're ready to book, don't always take this price as the price that it is. It will fluctuate depending on the time of the year. Plus, owners have the right to put on their own admin fees and cleaning fees. At the end of the day, some of them actually end up being more than a small, cheaper hotel. So you need to really work out what it is that you want, how much you want to pay, and where you want to be situated, because it's no point really finding a really cheap Airbnb and realizing you need to catch the bus in for half an hour every day to do sightseeing in the main centre. So please leave some comments below. Tell me your experiences, your thoughts about it. Any information I've missed, I'd really be interested in. I'm always open to other people's views and ideas. And yeah, I hope this helps. Thanks, and I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.